Good morning. Welcome to our discussion today. I'm so excited to have you, Farras, with me. Farras Seay is she's the director of marketing for Girl Power Alliance. She is the co-founder of GPA as well. She's a mama, a wife. She lives in Las Vegas. I'm just really excited to talk to her about the creative genius that she's been inside of this platform for all of these women to utilize. And you don't have to be an expert at everything, because this is pretty much like a turnkey system that we have in here. If you don't know me, I'm Amber Felix-Clark. I am the founder and CEO of Mamas on a Mission, where I really am inspired to bring mamas back home and still be able to make a profitable and effective income as they are working from home and still being a mother. Like, we say a lot, like, oh, go to work like you don't have kids, and have kids like you don't have a job. And so I'm here to bring kind of a really great balance for that, and just bring mamas into their highest calling, which is to be a mama, but still be a financial contributor to everything that they're doing and to those dreams that they have in their hearts. So without further ado, Farras, thank you so much for joining me this morning. And I really am excited to just share with other people that all of the creative genius that is going into the platform of Girl Power Alliance, which is our personal, professional, and leadership development opportunity to just grow in every aspect of life, really, because there's so much in the container that we have inside of GPA. So yeah, if you're ready, let's take it over.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Amber, for asking me to come on here. And it's always a pleasure. I think a lot of times people don't necessarily know exactly who I am, because I'm not so much on the video and things like that, because I'm so behind the scenes. But I do want to touch on a few things that you had said right off the jump, just because it's on my heart when you talk about mamas and bringing them home, and also giving them the financial stability that I think a lot of moms or women in general are looking for. And as you were mentioning with Girl Power Alliance, we are a personal, professional, and leadership development membership. It is all virtual. It's a virtual franchise. And since 2020, things are online now. Everything is online. So what it initially is created with Girl Power Alliance was to not only bring a community together, but also give women, in a sense, their power back, give them back their confidence, give them back their ability to say, hey, I may not know everything, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to grow. I'm willing to let go of things that have hurt me in the past. I'm willing to, grow into what God has truly destined for my life. And I will teeter off that a little bit just in my own experience. I think a lot of times, a lot of us have big dreams, right? Whether they're materialistic dreams, whether they're bigger dreams to help out communities and nations and countries, and even, our own small towns. So I think it's, very important to know that, I wasn't, I wasn't in no way, shape, or form thinking, okay, I'm going to be a co-founder of this company that's going to help women grow and develop and do all of these amazing things. Little did I know that all of my experience over the last 20 years, I know it may be hard to believe, but I've been working for such a very, very long time. I was a very, very independent child. I was a very independent, young woman growing up, and still very independent woman now. So it's so amazing to bring this and pioneer this, really, because it is something that is unlike anything you've ever seen. And even though we may not think growth is necessary, it is necessary. And you're constantly growing and learning in whatever field it is that you're doing. So I'm so happy that Girl Power Alliance is here to not only change the narrative, but to help women really see who they truly are. and break off some chains and really grow into this and have a financial, compensation attached to it, which I know some people may think, okay, well, Jesus and money, how does that really work? And it does work. God wants you to have abundance. And I think that's a mindset that a lot of us have to sometimes initially overcome. I know for myself personally, it's something that I had to overcome as well, because it can get a little sticky because you don't want to think that you're greedy, but you also don't want to be a salesperson because you genuinely want to build relationships. So, overcoming those things and knowing that, God always wants the best for you. Initially, that's what GPA does as well. We want the very, very best for you. We want to continuously bring you the very, very best in all areas of your life, like you had mentioned, whether it's at home with the littles, whether it's a business. I mean, you may be working in corporate America and you need to grow a little bit. Maybe it's your relationships, maybe it's your friendships, maybe it's your marriage. There's so many different things. So we do have a very, very easy turnkey system. Like you had mentioned, it's literally available to you as soon as you become a member or ambassador, which I can break down a little bit because I think some people get a little confused when you hear both of those words together and they're like, okay, well, what does this mean? And what does this mean? So it's literally available at your fingertips as soon as you come into the membership. I mean, it is so, so easy. And when we first started, it wasn't so easy. It was something that we kind of had to work out some kinks and make sure that it was fully available. And I'll share a few things that we actually recently just added that I don't even think you know about inside of the membership that, we're just constantly improving. So as you become a member, it can be a little overwhelming because you're not really sure where to start. You're not really sure where you should grow. And because we have such a plethora of things to choose from, depending on the path you want to go with. I definitely want to, highlight our courses. And I think, we have so many certification programs. We talk about that we're personal, professional leadership development. And yes, we have Radiant Leadership Academy. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about it.
That's fantastic.
Yes, I fully agree. I've taken it 3 times.
Yeah.
I'll be taking it again this year just to, kind of move that needle a little bit more. But it's, I want to start with the courses. I really think that inside of our membership, the courses they are so meaty. They are so full, but they're also in a way that can be done on your timeline.
Yeah.
It's, someone working from home like myself, there can be moments where you need to just go at a drop of a hat. You may need to go to the grocery store, maybe something's going on with your dogs, maybe something's going on with your kids, or, maybe you have something in the family, you're like, oh, I got to go run this errand and do this. And I think the ability to have growth at your fingertips at any moment to where you can pause and you can play and you can download and you can learn as you're going through this is definitely key. And we have so many courses and they are huge. And what I will tell you, Amber, and anybody else that is watching is at the end of each course, it's something that we want to, recognize your commitment. So at the end of every course, you actually will get a certificate of completion. So it is something that we have added. So Amber, if you've completed certain courses, make sure you go back and you download your amazing certificate.
I will do that.
You have completed that course. And, I'm a person that, loves to see all the things that I have done accumulated and say, you know what, you did that, and you go from seeing yourself. I talk a lot about this with our corporate team is sometimes it's almost pretty wild to see yourself almost as a third person because you can see the growth.
Mm-hmm.
You can see how maybe you handle a current situation now with all the growth that you've endured, all the things that you've learned, how you've overcome, as opposed to, oh, I remember that I used to react this way, or I remember that I used to really spin out of control when crisis hits. And to see your growth, whether it's a year, whether it's 6 months, whether it's a couple years, and say, wow, like I remember I could have handled that differently. And now I'm handling it this way. And I think it's because of this, or it's because of this course, or it's because I've stretched myself. And that's some of the big things I think inside of what we have here at Girl Power Alliance is just the ability to turn that on for
Yeah.
women and to stretch them and to grow them.
Yeah, but I think the on-demand courses are really a pivotal point in people's life, because they don't want to be tied to a computer at a certain time, or have to, be in, some meeting at a certain time. Although we do have live courses that if you get on the live call, like last night, for instance, if you were on the call last night that we had, it was freaking mind-blowing, and just so much empowerment to really step into what true leadership looks like, and what Girl Power Alliance offers, and we talk about it a lot, is that inside out approach. But like you said, you have to be willing to take those first steps and know, like, I really do want to steward my finances better, or I really do want to learn how to listen to God better. Like, what is he really putting on my heart, and how do I discern, is that what God's telling me, or is that like my own narrative? And learn, like, nobody knows really how to do that when they're born. Like, we're not taught this stuff. We don't go to school and learn this stuff. We go to school and learn, reading and writing and math and all the things that it takes to just be a productive human being. But we don't necessarily get the tools to have like a soft heart that we can bring out the best that's in us, and then mentors that have gone before us. Like, somebody has to go first.
Right.
Michelle's paved a really great way for the women that are inside of the community to learn how to do that. And sometimes you do have to be the first. Like, I'm the first in my family that is going through this inside out transformation, and sharing that with others has been such a simple and easy conversation to have, because when you speak to people from your heart knowledge, instead of from a head knowledge, although the two connect, it's just an easy connection. It's an easy way to do it. And the things that you've created inside of GPA, the content, the social media shares, like, you do not have to be tech savvy, or know how to work through Canva, or all of the things to be able to post on Instagram or whatever. Like, you have a message to share, and that's really unique to who you are. And all of the other details are already worked out for you inside of the platform. So I really love that we get to connect in that way, and just step into our zone of genius, whatever that is, with the courses that you're talking about, whether it's anything. I mean, it literally can be anything, from learning how to be a better mama. I want to know how to make sourdough bread, or I want to, like, there's so much. The spectrum of what's contained in this learning platform is ridiculous.
No, I 100% agree. And it's a really done for you model. And I hear you say, you don't have to be tech savvy. You don't have to be this. And throughout the years, I've done a lot of social media managing. I've, looked at analytics, look at the numbers, built websites, and done so many of those things, which, one person or woman could be really, really good at those things, and another not so much. And I think the beauty of it is that at the end of the day, Yes, we have everything done for you, whether you're a member, and I'll touch on the ambassador piece as well, or ambassador, and you feel like sharing, but you're unsure of what to say. We do have all those things readily available, whether it is a graphic, or whether it's a certain photo, or whether it's just verbiage that is very easy to just copy and paste and share what's on your heart. I also really feel that, throwing out algorithms, throwing out statistics, throwing out numbers, and, all the things that, yes, they are great. But I also feel that it's very important to just be who you are, share who you are authentically, without a doubt, and without, the feeling of, oh, well, what is this person going to think?
Mhm.
And I think that's the most important thing. A lot of this, I believe, stems from a place of healing, a place of understanding and knowing and discernment of, yes, life can be difficult and there are certain roads to navigate, but God is with you every step of the way. And when you're operating in that place of healedness, like you had mentioned, you can, go out into the world and, really love on other people. And ultimately, that's what it is. So I think GPA not only provides that community source. The last couple of weeks, I've been in a transition in our life to where, we have moved. We have a lot of different moving parts, children going back to school, and all of those things. And I've realized that even through all of that, I find myself continuously, even being a co-founder and a director and all those things, a longing for coming back to the community, being a part of the live calls, going through the courses. I would much rather be in that zone, which is closest to God, than anywhere else. Instead of going to lunches or making appointments or, fixing this and that, I find myself in like, I really like this routine of joining the live calls on Wednesdays and joining the calls on Thursdays and just being a part of that because you get filled. And I know we talk about this so much of women just, working out of a, empty cup. And for the longest time, I really didn't understand that. I really was like, what do they mean by like empty cup and fill your cup and you have the oil and you have this? And, it's become more clear that women continuously give and give and give and give and give. When can they feel that they're seen? When can they feel that they're heard and they're appreciated and that they are making a difference and an impact? And that's here at Girl Power Alliance.
Yeah.
Aside from all the things that are happening. So to switch gears just slightly, as far as having a done for you model inside of Girl Power Alliance, having that instant access digitally, a virtual franchise, whether it's your phone or laptop or computer, iPad, tablet, however you want to do it. It's a membership. Now, on that membership, you can just be a member. I talk about being a member. You can have access to everything, whether you're a VIP member, which is a little bit more, which I think is worth it ultimately.
Yeah, because you have access to the Radiant Leadership Academy, which
right, you have
legit
correct.
was like decades worth of healing in 16 weeks.
Yeah.
Less
I
than
think the
16
first
weeks.
or second week for
Yeah.
me, when I first took it, I was like, okay, this is different. So you can be a VIP member, you can be a basic member, and you have access to everything we mentioned, all the courses, the academies, all the calls, the community, all of those things, all the free resources that we have. And then the fun part is you can also turn on the ability to earn, which is the ambassador portion. You still have everything that you have access to as far as courses, memberships, academies, all those things, the calls, but now you've turned it into an opportunity. And I think more than ever, women love the ability to contribute. Women love the ability to be of something bigger than they maybe not fully understand, which we talk a lot about here. I don't know if we will ever truly get the scope of the impact that each and every woman inside of GPA is actually having on the kingdom and the world. It is something that is bigger than us for right now, with everything going on in the world. And, you have the opportunity there to turn on the ability to not only earn an income, a semi-passive income, but you have the ability to, have a little bit of that stability, to share that with other women that may be struggling. I mean, I can't tell you how many people and women in general I've talked to that say, hey, just even $500 would make a huge difference in my household. I mean, whether you have a house full of kids, maybe you're single, maybe you're newly married, maybe you're dating, whatever it is, that extra $500 could help fund a number of things. Maybe even just get food on the table. Maybe you want to have, a nicer piece of chicken or a nicer piece of steak, or even something like that, that seems maybe so small to others, can be such a huge difference in so many women's lives and marriages and homes and children. And so you have that ability to turn on. And I know Amber was saying that it's, we have this opportunity, it's done for you, and, it's right there at your fingertips. And the same goes for, the ambassador portion. And she talked about our leadership mastermind call that we had last night, which I agree with you was literally out of this world. And I think it's God knows the timing on everything, right? I think he spoke to every single woman, no matter what path or where you are. And it hit on all those points. But we have created the ability for you to run a business. I mean, we have multiple training videos. We have multiple live trainings that will help you on your way. You may come in here and say, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I want to figure it out. And we literally will take you by the hand. We will link arms with you, and we will walk you step by step, whether it's just enrolling one person, sharing what you've learned. And I think that's also the beauty too, is our system. It's not about selling somebody. We don't ever want to sell somebody on what God wants for your life.
Right.
We definitely don't want to, persuade anybody into thinking, hey, we also, and that's God moving in their life as well, opening that door, pursuing them, fervently, to where it's like, oh, this is different. And we have an engage, promote, repeat system. And we've been talking about the engage portion, being in the courses, seeing yourself change, seeing your family change. I know you mentioned that, you're the first one in your family, mine as well. I've definitely seen some serious, significant changes and chains being broken, even in my own child's life. I look at her and I go, wow, at 11, I had been through all of these things. She's never had to experience that.
Yeah.
And
it's huge.
I think it's beautiful, and I think it can be done. I think things can be repaired in families' lives, and generations can be changed forever, just based on, you taking the step as a woman to take a stand and say, you know what, I'm going to do this. And not only doing that, but then sharing that with other women so that they can help other women and other generations and other chains be broken. And the plus side is you have all of these things. You have a community, you have women that are just like you have women that you can count on, and you're also earning in your bank account. It's literally one of the most insane, wild, and remarkable things that I think I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, it's very comprehensive in how it takes everything that that we struggle with in life in general, and just has a amazing way of you mentioned the business side of it, and how you can step into becoming a business owner through this
Mhm.
virtual franchise. But, I reckoned myself for a very long time as a professional wiper. I started having babies when I was 20 years old.
Mm.
And I really thought that kind of my result was, that was my lot in life. I was just going to be a professional wiper forever. Although I did always work, I have a really strong drive to, um, still impact my household financially. So I was always working. But I didn't see myself outside of that scope really at all. And I was just kind of working to, I don't know, I was working for a paycheck. I was working for the weekend. I was working, just to make sure that
I
my
think
kids
what you're
could have.
looking for is, because I was the exact same way, is that I think it's because of just a society as a whole. You just do it because everybody's doing it.
Right,
You do it because that's what you have been, almost in a sense, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but programmed to do.
right,
You become a wife, you become a mom, but you still have to go to work and you still make money. It doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you're getting that paycheck so that you have a roof over your head and the bills are paid. It may not be something that you're truly passionate about. And I think sometimes it's almost robotic. It's like you're not really sure why you're doing it, but you're doing it because you have to. And then the moment that changes, you're like, oh, and that's where that happens. I know for me, it was like, oh,
I get a choice to
and
do this differently. Like, what?
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, because you don't have to be a business owner already. You don't have to have a PhD. You don't have to be an author. You don't have to be a speaker. You don't have to be any of these things. Like, honestly, I was a professional wiper. I worked for the last 5 years in our emergency room here at our regional hospital. And it was an incredible opportunity to grow, and just to see really what I was made of and what kind of, what stress load I could hold. But like, I don't want to learn how to hold stress. I want to be letting go of that stress, but I still wanted to, I like serving people and I like helping other people out. I like, like going into families and just being able to bless them with, like, if I can clean their house for an hour, if I can, whatever it is that I can offer. But I didn't have that freedom of time to be able to do that until I learned how to be a work from home mama, and to actually
I
have that
hear you.
inside out transformation of thinking like I didn't ever think I could do this. I really wasn't. I knew how to get on Facebook and I knew how to watch videos on YouTube. Legit, that was my technical like background, right?
And look at you
And
now
yeah,
doing
I
interviews
right.
and
And so it's just amazing when you really do step into the higher calling that God has for you, and um have some sort of resources and tools to to figure out, like, what does that look like even for my future, and is this something that I really can do? And then you start opening your brain up to like what God has, the downloads that he gives you, and your heart up to the change that he's asking you to just bring about. But it's in such a like a gentle, non-forceful, non-threatening way that GPA offers it, that it flows so easily. And yeah, it's just like, we're not here to make anybody else a clone of what we're doing, but really help them to step into what God wants from them, so they can just continue to just be better, be better at everything that they do, and really walk into the calling that God has on their life. Even if they don't know what that is, you're going to figure it out.
I think it's really important to touch on, because you went kind of fast by it. Some people may have caught it, but for me it was a huge kind of highlight, is you just didn't know that you were ever going to be a stay-at-home mother. You just didn't know, just like myself, that I was going to be a serial entrepreneur. And I think the biggest thing is for just women in general and just people in the world, is be open to the possibilities. Be open to the possibilities that anything can happen for you. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you.
Yes.
So all of your life lessons, all of the things that you've endured, whether it's pain, whether it's happiness, whether it's, milestones in your life, becoming a mom, not, all of those things together, it's just open your mind and don't limit yourself to what can be possible for you in this time. You may have done things a certain way for 30 years, and all of a sudden, you're doing something completely different. You feel like you just jumped into the deep end of a pool and you're not sure if you should go this way or if you should go this way. But I tell you, I think is the beauty of it because of the possibilities.
Yeah.
And so I'm so happy that you said that, because I was the same way. I say it over and over again, and it might seem like the record is just replaying, but I never thought that I would be here.
Right.
Never thought that I would, be helping and impacting women. I never thought that, my story would, help somebody else. I never knew that all my gifts and talents were meant and saved for this exact moment. So the possibilities, it doesn't matter. And I think another thing is, it doesn't matter your age either. You can be very young. You can be mid, you can be, maybe in your older years. I think it's possible at any age for anybody to seek out what God has for you. And, I really appreciate you bringing me on. I appreciate you saying all the things about GPA. It's always nice to hear how it's impacted other women. I think for a long time, I thought that I was the only one that was a certain way, and come to find out there's so many women that are just like me, and it's very refreshing, and it's all about the possibility of the opportunity, as long as you is put yourself out there for it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thank you so much, Ferris, for just joining me this morning and really just sharing your heart. Like I said, she is the creative genius behind all the things that you may see different women of GPA post on our socials, or just our opportunity calls that we have. In fact, we have opportunity calls every Thursday night for you to jump onto if you would like to really just get to know a little more about some of the finer tuned details of what happens inside of this community and how you can become a part of it. Please reach out to us. We'll leave a comment somewhere in here or there, some sort of link somewhere. When you watch this, you'll be able to connect with either one of us. And if you're really seeking out just a different way and a different experience of life altogether, and to do it with joy and gratitude, and just become have some passion for the things that you're doing again, and learn how to do that. We just invite you to reach out to us and get on a call. Either one of us will just jump on a call with you regardless. But Farras, thank you again for jumping on. I am just really blessed with your zone of genius, with your gifts, with your talents. You are really making an impact in so many women's lives, and soon to be men's lives. So I'm excited for that part.
Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. We're excited to partner with you, and thank you for giving us your best and really stepping into everything that God has for you.
Well, thank you so much. And everyone reach out to Amber, wherever it's at here on the screen. She is amazing. And I can't wait to see you at Activate.
Yes.
And she'll probably drop a bunch of things about that as well. And this was such a pleasure, and I'm very humbled in it. So thank you so much.
Yes, you bet. All right. Well, we'll talk to you soon. See you on the inside. Bye-bye.